Hey everyone!
Hello everybody.
We're doing something a little different today.
Yeah, definitely a little different.
Out in the beautiful outdoors.
Yep, and not at the home studio or at the ballroom.
That's right. We are taking a walk, and actually a walk through our professional lives.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to talk about our excited young professional dance teacher career.
And how we went from that to where we are now, teaching people how to dance naturally and easily together.
Let's start at the very beginning.
When we started teaching, we had finished competing for over 10 years.
That's right. We were retired and we are now going into the wonderful teaching world.
We were used to, from our competitive careers, learning choreography, learning all the specifics, rehearsing it over and over again, and perfecting
hours
each
and
move.
Hours and hours, that's right. And we were trying to take that wow factor that we had from our competitive careers and bring it straight into the ballroom and bring all that wowness. Is that even a word? Wowness?
I don't know.
Bring that wowness to our students.
But we soon found out that maybe that wasn't the best approach.
No.
This reminds us of one of our first wedding couples, Cindy and Henry.
Yeah, not their real names. We're just changing their names for
anonymity.
Yes, that's right. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, when we first started with that wedding couple, we gave them all the juicy stuff.
The bells, the whistles, and everything in between.
Indeed. And what happened was, I mean, they actually did really well with it.
Yep.
They learned, they were quite coordinated, they learned all the steps, and they worked hard and practiced.
Yep.
But I would say one of the last lessons, I remember
Totally.
Cindy especially coming in and just breaking down, started to cry and had tears, and was just, and I had no idea what was the matter, but it was just the combined wedding stress of all the planning and as well as learning the dance that she just broke down.
Yeah. Afterwards, we kind of put two and two together and figured out that, well, the stress of the wedding and the stress of all the wowness in the dancing was something
too much wowness.
It was too much to handle. And it's not that necessarily, whoa, we're going under a tree. Not necessarily that, I guess, the choreography was flawed, but just that there was just too much of it.
Yes.
And in that first year, Cindy and Henry were not the only ones.
Oh no, we tried to wow many others.
Yep. Whoa, speaking of wow. Yeah, it was a very wowful year, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. And some couples actually requested things that wowed their guests.
That's right.
So they sent us YouTube clips of Dancing with the Stars, things like that.
Yeah, and we looked at those.
We gave it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we have the know-how, why not?
Yeah, exactly. So we looked at those clips and said, hey, we can do it. Why can't they? We can teach it to them.
For sure. But unfortunately, what happened, just like Cindy and Henry, at the end, they felt very stressed out and just overwhelmed by all the choreography.
Yeah, and although they pulled it off, it wasn't really the ideal situation for them or even for us as teachers.
Yes, we want them to enjoy their wedding dance and have fun on their wedding day and the days leading up to during the wedding prep. So it wasn't the most ideal for them to be all stressed out and feeling frazzled.
On the other side of the spectrum of wedding dance couples, there were couples that came in and said, hey Joel, hey Clara, we're not sure what the heck we want to do.
And in fact, they were kind of scared and timid to come into the studio.
That's right. They had never danced before and they didn't consider themselves even close or remotely to be able to dance.
So had we been the type of instructor to just pile on choreography for them,
like we did at the beginning of our careers,
they would have been completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But luckily, we learned from our mistakes.
That's right, from our own mistakes.
Yes. And we simplified and made things nice and easy and not past their saturation point.
That's right. And what they ended up having was a very big relief. They were like, oh my gosh, Joel, oh my gosh, Clara, I came into this thinking I was going to have to learn so much choreography and memorize, and ended up actually going, wow, we can do this.
Yeah, and a lot of them feel it's a lot easier than they thought it would be. So after working with a full spectrum of couples, from those who wanted to wow their guests to those who actually came in feeling really awkward about their dancing and just timid and shy and not knowing what to do,
Exactly.
we figured out that our goal actually is to teach people to dance and look like they haven't even taken a dance lesson.
Yeah, it's kind of funny saying that, but when I said that to couples, I said, you know, my goal with you guys is to be able to dance at your wedding as if you've never taken a wedding dance lesson before. They went, yeah, Joel, that's exactly what we came here for. Yeah, how did you know that?
Yeah, and what that really means is that it's so natural that it doesn't even look rehearsed, over-rehearsed, or that you're thinking too much.
Exactly. So when we start with couples now, we start not by teaching them dance steps or dance choreography, but we start by teaching them how to communicate on the dance floor together.
For sure. It's more about teamwork and about communication, having a conversation with each other very organically.
That's right. And the language now becomes more of a physical language, how we hold each other, the way that we use our hands, our arms, and not necessarily anything to do with the feet, which is kind of funny because a lot of times people think dancing is all about learning what to do with your feet.
Exactly. And it's a lot of brain work as well, just thinking about what's coming next and memorizing.
Yeah.
But this takes all the memorization out the window.
Yeah, and really what it gives them is the freedom to be able to dance the figures that they feel comfortable dancing at the time that they feel like they want to do them, instead of feeling like they're handcuffed to choreography. And really, that takes the whole stress out of it and brings a lot more fun.
Yes, and that's why we call our method the natural dancing method.
So whether you find yourselves working on your wedding dance actions by yourselves at home, or possibly venturing out to your local dance studio in your hometown, or possibly learning from Joel and Clara online, hint, hint, we suggest these 3 things from our experience, as you know, that will make it most simple and yet a very elegant dance.
Number 1 is choose a home-based pattern. It needs to be simple and easy enough to learn so that you can rehearse it a bit and do it with your eyes closed.
That's right, not just with your eyes closed, but also be able to talk naturally and possibly what you're going to watch on Netflix tonight.
That's going to make sure it's very natural and easy.
That's right. The second thing that we always suggest is do an underarm turn.
Underarm turn makes a great photo, and it's also just a quintessential step that every dance needs to have.
That's right. And the third thing is learning a nice, simple dip.
Yes, take it from me. All girls love to be dipped.
And it's a great way to finish off a dance.
For sure. Now, the very important essence of it all, through all these steps, is that you learn to communicate it through back and forth with each other.
That's right. I mean, it sounds very simple, and you're like, Joel, Clara, hey, it's not as if I'm dancing, you know, are we gonna get bored? But the idea here is that because you guys are off script, you guys aren't doing choreography and trying to learn it and memorize it, is that it becomes natural and authentic.
So now that we've gone on this walk together through our journey as dance teachers,
Thanks very much for joining us.
you can get lots of more details and free stuff, tips and tricks for your wedding dance, down in the description below.
Yeah, there's lots of them there, so go ahead and click away. And speaking of clicking, click on that subscribe button and the notification bell.
For sure. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.